welcome to Family Craft Time with Jen from the Blue Mountains Public Library. Today we are going to be making some jellyfish. We are going to be using some tissue paper, some scissors, some yarn, some battery operated tea lights if you can get your hands on some. You'll need a bowl or something to use as a base, some saran wrap, and Mod Podge. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can always make your own with 1 cup glue, 1/3 cup water, and it works just about the same. So that's what we'll need for supplies. Okay, so for our first step, we are going to wrap our base with some saran wrap. Make sure it's nice and covered because you do not want the paper to dry and to stick to it. So once that's wrapped, you take your first piece of tissue paper. I've cut my squares in halves. Take it, wrap it around, and tuck it underneath. Once you have it tucked underneath, take your paintbrush and you're gonna paint your Mod Podge just like this. Get it nice and wet, don't be shy with it, because once we are done with this, you have to actually let it dry for approximately 24 hours. So we are going to glue about 4 layers of tissue paper onto the base. So there's the first. Shape it. We are not tucking this sheet in. So once you add your second sheet, we are going to leave it as so. You are then going to continue to paint your Mod Podge, sheet it until you are done with your 4 or 5 sheets of tissue paper. Once you've completed that, you set aside, let it dry for 24 hours, and then we're off to our next step. Okay, so after a 24-hour drying period, this is what it should look like. Turn it upside down, unwrap your first layer of tissue paper that you had wrapped on there, and very slowly remove it. So I have already, punctured some holes into the top of it. If you have like a wide-eyed threading needle, you can do it with a threading needle, or you can use it with a fork. And then you take your yarn and you feed it through, and you just tie it off. Leave those ends because we'll be using them. So once you have your yarn pulled through, you're going to take your scissors and you will trim the extra tissue paper. Okay, so once you've done trimming the extra tissue paper from around the jellyfish's body, we are going to attach the tea light. So with the yarn, I hope you've left it nice and long. If not, just untie it, put a knot back in it, but leave it long throughout the top. You're going to take the tea light and some tape, and you are actually, first we should test to make sure that the light works, which it does. And then you're going to take it, and where your knot is, you are going to tape the yarn around the tea light's side. Just as so. I went right around. Give it a good squeeze. Whatever yarn is left over hanging, just cut, set aside, and pull it on through, and it should be right at the base, just like that. And now we're on to our final step. So now we are going to get our tentacles ready. You're going to take 2 or 3 pieces of tissue paper, fold it in half, lengthways, and then fold it again into 4s. And then you're going to cut into the tissue paper, another 2 times, and then trim it to about this length. So once you have the legs cut, I have some cut here already. Remove the top. We can then start attaching the legs around the inside of the jellyfish with their tape again. Okay, so I am just finishing up taping our tentacles to our jellyfish. If you have a hot glue gun, you can also use a hot glue gun instead of tape. Whatever you prefer. I have the Tealight turned on right now. We're gonna turn our jellyfish upside down. And there we have it, everybody. Oh, I lost some of my tentacles. We have a glow-in-the-dark, super cute, super easy jellyfish. If you want to check these out, we also have them hanging in our windows at the LA Shore Library. So window shop for some books, window shop for some craft ideas, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thanks, bye.